the Bella twins, they're always reaching out and helping us.
That's great.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah,
Truly.
they're sweet.
Great mentors.
I mean,
yeah, they're great. So,
and I
they're
read
killing
all
it
the
right
twin stuff.
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah,
like
yeah. We
non-twins
always, like,
can't relate to.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
we always, we just bounce ideas off of them and everything. So they're the blueprint for sure.
Oh, what's your story? Don't you dare be sour. Clap for Stephanie and feel the power.
This is a WWE and Fanatics original production brought to you by Game Day Men's Health. Tell us about what's happening in Vegas. Like, are you guys going one-on-one? Like, how is this?
Yeah. So we just signed with BetMGM, and we are playing one-on-one on April 4th weekend with them out in Vegas. So people can bet on who's going to win. Honestly, I think it's going to be me. So
It's funny though, because we haven't touched a basketball since last year of March, like fun, whatever. Like we played a little bit on vacation not too long ago, but then they came up with this idea to kind of announce our partnership. And now everyone's like really excited. Like I haven't got so many texts like who's gonna win. They're all playing and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I might need to start practicing to play.
we're gonna practice for sure.
And you can't like covert practice. No.
But I've like guarded her so many times in practice. I know her like moves to a T. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. She's so much more physical though than me. So.
I know.
Is it like a game though, or is it like horse? Like
I know there's a 3-point contest, and then there's one-on-one. They sent kind of over like the itinerary of what the weekend looks like, but yeah, no, we're excited for it. I mean, I think it'll be fun and it'll get a lot of people engaged. And stuff, so yeah,
Everybody
we'll have to see
loves
what goes
sibling
down.
rivalry.
Yeah, I know. You guys will have to tune in
Yeah.
to see who actually wins.
Yes,
Place your
and
bets.
one of you was posting recently about being competitive with one another.
Yes.
And how it's like it's a good thing and a tricky thing sometimes.
No, absolutely. I think that like the competitive nature, like even if I see she's in the gym like a little bit before me or something like that, and Haley's like, I just need to catch up or something like that. Like you always feel like you're behind. It's the accountability of like a twin sister, but I mean, it's the best.
Yeah, I think that we're each other's biggest supporters, but we're also each other's like biggest motivators, I think. Obviously, the accountability, just touching on what Hannah said. I always feel like I'm like one-on-one with her regardless of what we're doing. Like not on the basketball court like growing up, but I just think that we just push each other in a way where it can be to the point where we like, okay, we need to like chill. Like, also
Everything has to be an
I feel like
argument.
that's what's made us so successful is like just being able to have that like accountability and like having someone in your corner. You're like, okay, like I don't want to let this person down, or like she's gonna push me in a way where it's like in any way of like life. So it's been really cool.
No, it's the best for
Yeah.
sure. Not on golf anymore. I mean, we just started golf. So like now it's not peaceful at all out there. We're not even good, and we're both trying to like barely hit the ball
And then I'm
straight.
like, dude, you're cheating. Like you didn't birdie that.
And I was like, no, I birdied.
So I have 3 girls.
Okay.
And they do fight all the time, especially my oldest and my youngest. But you, and I know you're not saying you're fighting, you're competitive, but they are also very competitive.
Right.
But you're from a family of 5 girls.
Yeah.
So, but you guys are the only twins.
Yes.
Right? And so how does that work?
I mean, the dynamic growing up with 5 sisters was obviously a lot of arguing because
You're right.
sharing clothes, like we're all
Sure.
close in age,
Yeah.
but now it's like they're our best friends.
Yeah.
So it's the best, and we're all equally as competitive with each other. But now I luckily live close to all of them, and then Haley's in Texas. So I mean,
Because she's getting married.
Yes.
Mhm.
I
Yes.
think that touching on what Hannah said, growing up, we were fighting and we're not as mature as where we are in our
Right,
relationship
right.
now.
Yeah.
So like your girls and stuff, but I think obviously we learned not to argue about the clothes and everything growing up and stuff like that. So and now I live away, so it's even like, oh my gosh, I want to like be with them. I
Right, you
FOMO
just
all the
wanna see
time.
them.
Like they're going
Like,
to family dinners
I
and stuff,
need
and I'm
their
like,
clothes.
yeah, I'm like, I need Hannah to be in Texas with me.
Aw.
But no, it's the best. It's the best, especially because they're just like built in right across the street, no matter what. So we are very, very close family.
Yeah, that's what I was understanding. And you guys call your grandmother every Sunday?
Well, both my grandparents, my grandma's in Michigan, my mom's mom, and my other grandparents are in Naples.
Okay.
So yeah, we see our grandparents in Naples a lot, but my grandma that's in Michigan, we call every Sunday.
That's so
Yeah.
great. Like everybody at the same time, or do you just make sure you reach
We
out
just
that
make
day?
sure that
Yeah.
we call her.
Just the two
Yeah.
of you.
Yes.
I'm sure they all call her, but she like always has family, like it's called like Sunday dinners. And
Yeah.
like my mom
I
comes
try
from
to do Sunday dinners.
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
the whole family always comes over, and my mom's from such a small town. It's called Waterville, Michigan. And they always go over there every Sunday, which is like, I love it. We always go back in July for the 4th. But yeah, I always like to call them just to catch up and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best. I love like hanging out with my grandparents and my grandma. It's like, I would do it every time. I just was at dinner with them yesterday, and I'm like,
They're so wise. You just
It's-
soak it all
That's
in.
golf
right,
with them.
that's right.
Like, I love it. So
Slow pace.
Yeah.
What's one of the best lessons you've learned from your grandparents?
It's a great question. My grandpa always just says, one thing that's always stuck with me is he's so wise, but I would say just like be present and slow down. Like me and Hannah are always like 100 miles per hour, but like when you're with your grandparents, I feel like they always are just like be in the moment. And I need a little bit more of that because I'm always like thinking, what's next? Like,
Right.
but he's always just like slow down, like stop and chill. And like I always appreciate that because that allows me to be like, okay, Haley, like be present in the moment in the conversations I'm having.
I would say success comes in all forms. So like in love, life, obviously your work. That's kind of what they always talk us about. So
I love that
Yeah.
too. Warren Buffett once said that success is defined not by how much money you have, but by essentially by how much love you have in your life.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
that's-
And like what you do with your money and stuff. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that is probably the biggest lesson.
they're good ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're the best. Grandma and grandpa.
Well, and how do you like pause and stay present when you're like constantly having to post and kind of put yourselves out there with everyone? Like, how do you
Right.
put the phone down and not like,
Well, your morning routine, there's no phones, right?
Yes. I would say, I think learning to understand that social media is our job. And obviously, like, we're wired a certain way where it's like, I want to do everything like 100%. Like, as an athlete, like, I attack everything that way. And I would say in the beginning, it's always like, you're scrolling, you're doing this. But, like, my mind is thinking, like, how can I monetize this? Or, like, how can me and Hannah turn this into a business opportunity? Like, that's just how I kind of understood like what social media is nowadays for Hannah and I. So I would just say being able to kind of manage that is one, give yourself some time throughout the day. Our mornings is like, I like to go 30 minutes without touching my phone because if I wake up like looking at my phone, like it's just increasing like my cortisol levels too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
And then also at nighttime, like just putting it down and understanding like at 8 o'clock, like I'm not going on social media, like regardless, just because I feel like, you know, you need to, even though you're working through your phone, you need to put it down and like be present. And that's time blocking has always allowed me to be a little bit more present.
Yeah, I would say time blocking for sure. And then I do time limits on all my like apps. Like
Oh,
I'm like
okay.
very big. Like if I'm like scrolling too much, like it will pop up. And even if I want to hit ignore, I'm like, just don't ignore it because then I feel guilty. And I'm like I'm letting myself down. Like I wrote this in my morning journal. So I just think it's like Haley said, it's like your job. So like understand it like that, but also like you need to shut it down sometimes. So your mind doesn't always need to keep going like what's next, what's next.
Do you think NIL taught you guys about how to monetize social? Or was that something that you already thought about? You know, how did you get to that point where
Right,
you
I-
realized there was that opportunity?
I think in the beginning, like my dad's a business owner, so we kind of started seeing it at an early age, like how they kind of like worked in their mindset moving forward with it. But I don't think monetization wise with social media when we started up, it wasn't anything like, oh, we need to make money off of it. It was
Right,
more
right.
of just like we're doing it in
Connecting and-
time.
yeah.
It was during COVID, kind of passing time. And I told Haley, I was like, come out to the basketball court. There's a good beat for us to dribble. And we did it. And then from there on out, it was kind of like, okay, July 1st, college athletes can make money. How can we monetize? And then from there, it was kind of domino effect.
Yeah. But we had the chance to interview Livy Dunn, who I think you guys are
yeah.
close with. And she was telling us about NIL, and she started a program for female athletes in college to teach them how to use it and how to make the most out of it, because oftentimes there's not a professional opportunity,
Right.
you know, for playing outside of collegiate sports. So how can you then translate that, you know, into your career once you graduate?
Right, yeah. I think nowadays too, like name, image, and likeness for female athletes in college has been so huge, just like you said, because even women's basketball, there's such a limited percentage of you going pro and the
Sure.
revenue and all that. There's so many things that go into your sport as a female. So being able to learn kind of the networking and the name of the game in college for females has been so good to see, just because like the younger generation can see, okay, you can maximize your name, image, and likeness in college and kind of profit off of that, and then learn your entrepreneurial skills and business skill sets for like the future when you graduate. So I think it's been so beneficial for females, and it's so good to see, you know, because
Yeah.
you never would have thought
Yeah.
name, image,
Yeah.
and likeness for female athletes. It was always, you know, the quarterback at the big Power 5 school. So,
Right.
And you can set yourself up like right afterwards too. It's like what you do afterwards, I think, is important to see when you're done with college as well.
Like how you continue it.
Yeah, how you continue it, because everybody's always like, well, what's next, you know?
Right.
But I think that's really important to get a team surrounded. We have a great agency that we've been with for 5 years, so they're very big on getting us equity within deals, having to start our own like brands, being very like creative within those brands. So I think that's really important too, and that's amazing that Livy's doing that too.
Yeah.
She also coincidentally kind of got her social media start, or I think she told us, like by doing flips on the beach during
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, everybody during COVID.
Everybody has their own thing.
What were we doing?
Yeah.
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 This isn't about hype or luck. It's about optimization, living stronger, thinking clearer, and performing better every day.
At Game Day Men's Health, that's the standard. Game Day Men's Health helps men improve testosterone, energy, and sexual performance with real testing and face-to-face visits.
They help men reach their full potential with science-backed care, from testosterone optimization and peptide therapy to ED and performance support with personalized treatment plans.
With over 400 clinics across North America, they've got you covered. No long waits, no online guesswork.
When life demands you be at your best, every day is game day. Learn more or book your visit at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Like, are there any classes that they teach you guys for investing or what to do with the money that you start making, and you go from not making anything being an athlete to suddenly now you have endorsement deals? And as you said, you learned how to take the business side of it, and you have a great agency that's helping
Yeah.
with, you know, now you're actually participating in revenue and starting your own brands. But as this money sort of starts, and money that wasn't there before, how do you know what to do with it?
Right. I think that is something that is missing. I mean, I do think there's courses that you can take, but I think luckily for us, my dad did tell us early on, like, invest your money, save for future. It's like, his quote is like, it's not a 4-year plan, it's a 40-year plan. Like,
Yeah.
it's been embedded,
Yeah.
I swear.
That's good. That's
Right.
good.
No,
yeah.
he's great.
Yeah.
But I think that is something that's missing in the NIL space, where it's like you get such a big chunk of money, and if you don't have that support system, like, what do I do with
Right.
it, right? And you can save it and like be able to, you know, use it in the future. But I do think that is missing, and something that probably should be talked about a little bit more.
Yeah, I think going off of that, I would love to see college athletes have classes being able to like teach them like what you do with your money and like
Right.
investing in like stocks
Basic
and learning
finance,
the system.
yeah.
Like, because like Hannah said, when you have all this money coming in, it's great. But if you start spending it, then what are you gonna do in 4 years? Like,
Right.
you hit the
Yeah.
real world, and now you're not in college athletics. Not everything's paid for, you know. So we were very blessed with a support system like that. But you never know who gets raised, where you come from, and I do think that is what's missing with name, image, likeness. And nowadays, it used to start as the wild, wild west, but kind of see that progress and understanding like people need to understand what you can do with your money and how much money you can invest if you don't touch it.
Right.
Yeah, I would
Now
love
it
to see
compounds.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure.
I mean, and everybody wants the new car or the piece
yeah.
of jewelry or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
it is, you know, and is it okay to do a little bit of that and then
Right.
save and invest? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think financial education's missing in high school too.
Yeah.
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 You know?
Taxes and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how
Like,
to-
how does the real world work? And so this new math, right?
no,
like,
I can't.
but so math in general, right? And
Neither.
so,
Math is
I
not
can't.
right.
my strong
But it's like, okay, so I learn basic math, but then how does that actually work?
Right.
You know,
like, how
like-
do you
Yeah.
apply it?
Exactly. And I don't know. I feel like there are big chunks missing there.
Yeah, it's just like simple stuff I wouldn't have known. Like, well, I have a savings account with my debit card. Like, I'll just put money in there. Well, I could be putting it somewhere else,
Right.
making free money off of it.
Exactly.
Like, nobody taught me that for a while.
Yeah.
Right.
But
And we should
seriously,
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna change that.
Well, and especially as more and more, high school graduates get into trade schools as well, it's like you do need to know it sooner. It's basic life skills.
Right.
Absolutely.
And even nowadays, since college athletes are kind of becoming more of like a professional athletes, like the NFL, the NBA, the women's NBA, like understanding that at a very young age, when you're like 18 going into college and you don't know exactly what that looks like and entails, but getting into a course right away and getting that education and background will kind of allow you to like shift that mindset gear, because Hannah and I have like such a frugal mindset, but a lot of people, they do want the glitz and glam, and that's
Sure.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
okay. But like I just think that like the quick money and the quick everything adds up so quickly, and that's why you see so many NFL players, the statistics of going broke, and
Right.
it's like people don't know,
And then
you
tax
don't
day
know.
comes.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
you don't have
Yeah.
You're like
tax
what you're
day.
making isn't what really you're making.
No.
Right. Right. That
It's
is
very
very,
better to
very
learn
true.
that sooner than later.
But yeah,
But you mentioned earlier, just going back to this, you journal in the morning?
Yeah, so I do my morning routine. I like romanticize it, I swear. But I have my morning devotional, and then I do my morning journal every single day, just to start off. I think if you start off with God's word, you always like fall back on it, no matter what. I mean, even if like somebody cuts you off in the word, like
Right,
on
right.
the road, you're like they're flipping you off. You're like, have a good day. Like my journal said, have a good day.
I feel like
But no, yeah, I'm just very religious about it, and I have been. I'm very much of an early bird we both are in the first place. So just being able to start your day with like calm, peace. I always call my low cortisol mornings. It's huge for
Yeah.
me. So
And do you have, do you set aside a particular amount of time to journal? Is it like, because I find journaling, I love to
Yeah.
journal too. I just started really, because every time I would sit down to journal, I would never know what to write.
Right.
And then I would find myself writing as if someone was going to read it. And I was like, that's not helpful. I don't think that's what it's
Yeah.
really supposed to be. And so I recently have been doing like 3 sort of mantras. And I write those down, and I'm trying to like set my mind for that. And then sometimes at the end of the day, I'll come back and say like which one like really applied throughout the day and how. And I found just really focusing on gratitude for me really helps. But what helps you? Like, how do you do it?
how do I journal? So I always will read my 2 morning devotionals, and then I have a gratitude list that I go through. So I try to write like 5 things that I'm grateful for, and then I write 1 affirmation throughout the day. And that's pretty much it. And then my nighttime routine is not as good. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm more like
You're tired.
2 melatonins
Yeah.
and I'm going to bed. But no, those are like the things that I typically am very religious on, even when I'm traveling, no matter
Yeah,
what. Because
yeah.
I think if you practice gratitude throughout the day, it's very important. So
I agree with that. It is interesting, your mindset. Like, when you're caught in those moments and someone does something to you. I mean, okay.
Sorry, she was saying
I know.
about the car. The amount of times I've been on the phone with her in the car, and
I'm a creative cursor.
she's very.
Oh my
creative.
God.
oh my gosh, yeah. literally, I'm not even kidding. Haley was driving and we're on the phone. This was like literally a day ago, and she just placed her Dunkin' coffee order, and somebody must have like cut her off or something.
no, I couldn't back out. So the lady like pulled in, and the drive-throughs like this, and they kind of have the setup weird. And I was trying to back out, but she wouldn't like let me out, and the line was super long, and she wasn't gonna order yet. And I'm like trying to like 3 like circle it, taking my driving school lessons to
Right.
putting them to use. And I'm trying to back out, and she won't let me out, and starts like laying on her horn. And I'm like on the phone with Hannah, probably saying things I shouldn't repeat. And then she's like flipping me off. So I like roll down my window. I'm like, have a great day.
She's like, you must
Yeah.
love your life.
You
Like,
must
have a
love your
great-
life. Like, have a great. And I was just
Right?
making her so mad, and
Of
I'm like
course.
killing with
Yeah.
kindness, because like, what is she
Yeah.
gonna say? She's still flipping me off and saying the F word, and I'm like, Hannah's like, what is going on? And I'm like, hold, please.
And I'm always just like, I always tell Haley, I'm like, we just count to 10.
Yeah.
Just count to 10. emotional intelligence will come back to you. Emotions are rising up. You count to 10, you're here. So
I know.
That's a great tool, though.
no,
yeah.
you
It's
know,
gonna be
like
my new line.
just count to
yeah,
10.
to like
Just count to
wait
10.
before respond instead of reacting.
Oh yeah. Or if it's like
Yeah.
a really bad fight, sleep on it. Like just
Yeah.
sleep on
Yeah,
it, put
time
that-
always helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
it
learned
does.
that. So
I mean, I'm not perfect because I was probably saying things that I shouldn't have, but I was just like, oh my gosh, lady. Like,
Right?
it is not
Yeah,
that big
like,
of a
come
deal.
on.
Yeah.
it's like
We're
9
getting
a.m.
our Dunkin' coffee soon. Like, we're all going to be good. But I try to make them up stories in my head too. When people just cross me, I'm like, it's a you problem. Like, just create a story in your head about like, they're probably having a bad day.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
it's
Yeah, they don't have a whatever it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're all having a day.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, that absolutely happens.
Yeah.
every once in a while for
Yeah. I let the anger go. I'm not like really mad. I
It
just
was more like back in the day driving into the office because we
Well,
were like,
yeah.
there's a lot. You're funny. I just think like if someone got into a situation with you, as we've learned on this podcast, like they actually saw that it was her, they'd be like, oh, sorry.
yeah, no,
Sorry, I
I
was-
highly doubt that. They'd pick the fight if they knew it was
sure.
me.
I apologize. They find you again. I saw you. I actually just apologized right up in your
Roll down the window. They're like, never mind.
That's so funny.
I just threaten.
Yeah. Terrifying.
So I would love to know how you met your fiance.
I met Jake. He slid into my Instagram DMs.
Oh,
It was nice to say
as
I
one
did,
does.
Yes. And that was like
And
probably
is this when you? Because which one of you was briefly at TCU?
I was there, but I trained there.
But
That's a whole
is that when you were in?
No,
Texas?
that was before. I met Jake before that all happened.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so I was we just graduated from the University of Miami, and we were living in Miami still. And Jake was actually in Fort Myers because his mom lives up there. And he just finished his season. And then, yeah, he just asked, long story short, and we met up. And then we hung for like 10 days straight.
Really?
Yeah, we celebrated like 4th of July together and then started dating. And yeah, ever since he's literally perfect. I cannot wait to marry him. But then I moved in with him after he proposed. And yeah, we're getting married in June. So I'm really, really excited about that. But he just slid in and asked me to go on a date. And then he proposed where we met. So it was like full circle.
so
Yeah.
Sweet.
He's
And
awesome.
You approved right off the bat.
Oh my God. I
Yeah.
always tell everyone, I'm like, I wish like it's not a brother. You know, people are always like, oh, I don't want that brother. Like I never wanted a brother. No, like he is the pivot, like the best guy I've ever met.
Oh,
Not even
yeah?
like as an athlete, just like as a human being. Like he's a good human being.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Great Midwest
Good for
boy.
you.
Yeah, no,
So.
he's definitely. I'm definitely very lucky, and it was funny because in the beginning, like my family like loved him. Like like the first moment my family met him, they're like, "You're gonna marry him, Haley." And I'm like very slow ship. Like I'm just like, oh, like maybe like I'm not gonna like
We'll
say I'm
see.
like gonna marry.
Yeah.
But, like Jake told me probably within 3 days, he was like, "I'm gonna marry you,"
Wow.
and then yeah, here we are.
If you know, you know.
story.
No, I guess yeah.
Aw, it's so beautiful.
He's
Congratulations.
awesome. Like seriously awesome. So I'm excited. He's a huge WWE fan too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like,
Who are
when we-
some of his favorites?
He grew up. I can't remember. He told me his dad took him to a WWE match, and I was like, wait, which one? But we actually went when we came here last time to the training center. I was just starting to talk to Jake, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, Triple H, like all these people," and he was like asking all these questions, and I was like, "Yeah, maybe one day we'll get in the ring." So, but I can't remember exactly. But no, he was a huge fan and stuff. So, yeah,
And so did you actually train here?
we came over probably a year and a half ago. I
Yes,
can't remember.
so we signed with
Their
WWE
NIL
for their NIL
Right.
program, and
Yeah.
we were filling it out. And then we came to, was it WrestleMania?
no.
Or
Oh yeah, that was in Nashville. That was SummerSlam. I'm pretty sure.
SummerSlam in
Yeah.
Nashville, which I
Yes.
was like obsessed with. That
Yes.
was
Yeah.
Yeah.
so cool. And then we came to the training facility for a little bit and toured it, but never got the chance to like actually get into like the
That's
ring
what I
and
was
stuff
wondering.
like that.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
we definitely
We were feeling
definitely thinking about it. So
Would that still possibly be a thing?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe. Yeah.
Jake's,
sure, yeah,
Jake's
we're-
all in on you doing this now,
Jake's
right?
all-
I know, right?
Jake's like put her in there.
No, yeah. So, no, it was really great. And then they just like took us around, got to meet people. The Bella twins, they're always reaching out and helping us.
Oh,
They're-
that's
Yeah,
great.
they're
Yes.
Yeah,
Truly.
they're sweet.
great mentors.
I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
they're great. So
And I
they're
read
killing
all
it
the
right now.
twin stuff.
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
like
yeah. We
non-twins
always, like, we
can't
always-
relate to.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
we always we just bounce ideas off of them and everything. So they're great.
Yeah, and they have such a success story.
oh my gosh, yeah.
You know, I mean, really remarkable athletes and now, you know, entrepreneurs and businesswomen and influencers and everything else. And they've done similar routes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the blueprint for sure. They're both back in WWE now, right?
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, Brie just came back at Royal Rumble.
Yep. As a
saw that.
Yeah, I
surprise.
saw that.
Came
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was
There
great.
she comes.
And what's funny is Elise had just said we should have Brie on the podcast. And I was like, oh, I don't know what she's doing right now. I'm not sure she'd be interested. And then all of a sudden she comes back at the Royal
I
Rumble.
manifested it.
Yeah,
love
she
Yeah,
did.
you put it in the air.
I think she did manifest
we
it.
had Nikki and she was talking about like Jimmy and Jay Uso being twins, so they'd be on the road, and like Nikki and Brie, I forget, they like were like what was it? They went into the same room. Like Jay and Jimmy had to sleep in the same room, and Nikki and Brie because they didn't want to sleep without their twin or something.
Oh my
like
gosh,
she was
really?
telling us a cute story, like the twin connection.
Right.
And then Brie's back now.
Yeah.
It's
Yay.
exciting.
I love
Yeah.
it. We were just texting them. We're like, yeah, we're coming down to Orlando. I was trying to see if they're going to be in town, but maybe we'll give them a FaceTime call or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, they're the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're awesome.
But so I would love to, like, what happened with WWE? Did it just like things got in the way, or like it
Yeah.
fizzled out?
No,
or?
I don't think it fizzled. I mean, I don't think it fizzled out. I think it was kind of like there was so much going on in our lives when we were
Right.
we were going back to basketball,
Yeah.
and then we were trying to dabble with a whole bunch of like other things within our business life. But now we have way more time. Obviously, Haley's getting married, so
Yeah,
we're definitely
yeah.
interested. And I think it's just amazing because it allows you to be, you know, entertainment. You're an athlete. It's competitive. Like it fits exactly the mold of who Haley and I are. So
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll see another twins in the ring.
Yes, it's been a long time. We need to get it back. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Twin
So-
magic.
the
You know, we
fan base
even
is
had
amazing,
identical
too.
twin referees.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Earl and Dave Hebner a long time ago.
Oh, I'm like,
yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
the Hebners.
That's
No
cool.
way.
Yeah, it was fun.
I'm gonna have to
There's
look
all
them up
kinds
after
of
this.
yeah,
I didn't see that.
mayhem.
No, yeah.
To
The fan base
ensue.
is amazing too. Like I've
Th-
never
they're
seen
the
the fan
best.
base like WWE's. It's insane.
So
It's the most, I mean, I'm a little biased, right? But
Yeah.
it is the most passionate fan base.
yeah,
I mean, that really amazing how invested our fans are. It's like a big giant family.
Yeah.
You know, we call it the WWE universe, and there are different aspects of it, right? Because there is NXT, there's Monday Night Raw, there's SmackDown, there's WrestleMania, there's all the other shows, and now there's AAA in Mexico, and there's like all of these different, you know, worlds that sort of exist, but the fan base is all tied together.
Yeah. That's like our number one question. The first, like, someone comes up to me like, "When are you guys joining the WWE?" Like,
Yes.
Number one.
Yeah.
Seriously, still to today, which is crazy because it's just like it's so supportive and like Hannah. I'm like, wow, everyone watches the WWE.
Yeah,
You know?
it's crazy. Like the amount of people you grew up in it, so it's so familiar to you. I certainly did not. Like the amount of people you'll be at a grocery store and someone has a shirt. Like there's just always some connection. Maybe I just am more aware of it now
Yeah.
because it's a big part of my life. But I feel like it's everywhere,
Right.
And it's so cool how it brings everyone together.
right.
Yeah, like if you were to say to that person, "I like your shirt," immediately there's like that
Yeah.
bond,
Connection.
you
Right.
know. And yeah, it's so fun because I feel like I grew up with our fans, you know, and our fans are a direct reflection of our talent, you know, and everybody is like just such good people,
Yeah.
you know. And I think after this, if you want, I don't know, are they training over in the other building? Do we know? Because this is where they shoot NXT, but then we have another facility like a block away, and that's where a lot of people are training. Because I ran into Matt yesterday, and I was telling him I was interviewing you guys, and he's like, "Whatever happened?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm going to ask them." And I said,
love
"But
the
I mean, I
question.
want them to come see the performance center."
Yeah, I was just in Super Bowl weekend in San Francisco, and Seth Rollins was like interviewing.
Yes.
me. He
Yeah.
was just like, "Oh my gosh, you going?" I'm like, "I'm actually going down there in like 2 weeks."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh my gosh, yeah." So
Yeah, it's crazy.
No,
It's such
yeah.
a small world. Well, and it's funny. It was the night. What was the same night? Saturday night's main event when I'm forgetting his name. The guy was climbing the
Alex.
skyscraper. Alex.
Harnhold.
Do you guys know his? Did you see this on Netflix?
It was
the
like a
live,
live-
the
No, I
guy who
didn't.
climbed Yosemite free
I saw
Wait,
that.
I saw
free
good-
solo.
Yes, I've
Yeah.
seen that.
So
Hanel-
he just
Honnold-
recently.
Honnold. Oh,
Because there was a documentary about this, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The
I
free,
remember watching
yeah,
it.
the free solo one, and maybe there was more than that. And then he just climbed a skyscraper live in where Tokyo,
yeah.
Wow.
That's
Taipei.
unbelievable.
Taipei,
Yeah.
and it was Seth Rollins did the commentary. And I didn't even know
that's
he was
awesome.
there doing it. And so it's like we were shooting Saturday night's main event, and I was there because I was helping host. And then simultaneously you have whatever else is streaming or what's
Right.
on, whatever your competition might be. And then it's like Seth Rollins, voice of Seth Rollins, and it's like, man, we really
Everywhere.
are everywhere.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, he
That
was
voice
doing
sounds familiar.
the NFL's Today show or something right before Jake and I went on and got interviewed.
Ah,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh,
You're like,
WWE,
hey, I just keep
hey.
running into you.
I know, yeah.
This feels
I know,
like
yeah.
destiny.
It's gonna be back, so we're
Yeah,
excited.
yeah. So
you never know what the
hopefully-
future holds.
That's right.
For sure.
Yeah. So, but we should, and if it's not today or whatever,
Yeah.
because I saw your entrance on SmackDown.
How'd
Oh,
you like
yeah.
it?
I
What
thought it was good.
You thought it was
Thought
good? A little
Yeah.
bit?
We
Okay.
could be better.
I think we could be better.
It's just
I
the
think
first
looking back-
time.
It was a little
Yeah.
bit nerves.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah, there we go.
Actually,
Actually,
Yeah.
I liked this.
I was blonde.
I mean, this was cute.
I think,
Wait, stop the colors.
I know.
yeah,
Stop.
because of
I'm like, on
Miami.
purpose.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was
I
fun.
thought the walks were good.
Yes.
I remember trying to get that phone out of that pocket.
Oh my gosh, Hannah, why don't I remember this whole routine we like choreographed ourselves?
Oh, I remember that one.
You guys are so cute.
We're gonna have to recreate this.
I love
was
it.
cute.
Right?
We have to think of some tag team names and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
maybe.
sure.
Are you going to be good guys or bad guys?
That's a great question. What do you think would be more fitting for us?
Yeah, you guys know
It's
best.
got to be what you feel
so good.
too.
And I
love
ask
that.
this because if you needed like a heel to teach you how,
Well, I just love to be. I prefer to be the bad guy
I don't know. I
because
feel
it's
like
very hard to be yourself, and like you're trying to get the audience to like you.
right.
It's hard to do.
Okay.
It's much easier to be hated, but you guys,
In the real world, it like
right?
yeah, no, it absolutely
just so much
correlates.
easier
It's so
to-
easy.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I feel like Logan Paul is a great example of that. Or
Yeah,
like
he's a
he
great
came
heel.
into the business influencer. He's this pure athletic talent, but he like as the crowd is booing him, he's just like he makes you hate him even more. Like it's,
Yeah.
it's perfect.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess
Same
we're
kind
gonna
of
have to feel
world.
it out. I'm trying to think.
Maybe not give it away.
Yeah, no, see,
people
that's what I
thinking.
think.
Keep people on their
yeah.
toes,
You have
yeah.
to keep them guessing.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yes.
For sure.
But you're there to make an impact.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're coming in hot.
The #1 sports fan festival, Fanatics Fest, returns to the Javits Center in New York City from July 16th to the 19th, 2026. Fanatics has just announced the return of Fanatics Games, bringing back its high-stakes cross-sport competition where everyday fans go head-to-head with some of the biggest names in sports.
The 2026 Fanatics Games introduces an expanded format with a $2 million total prize pool and new nationwide qualifying opportunities for fans to compete alongside elite athletes. The inaugural winner, Tom Brady, as well as reigning fan champion Matt Denish, will be back.
WWE superstars Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Cody Rhodes, and Jey Uso will also be joining the competition for a shot at the title. Head to fanaticsfest.com to apply to compete or grab your tickets to Fanatics Fest. You don't want to miss out. So, you guys are your other sisters as athletic as you guys are?
So they played sports growing up. We all played basketball. One of my favorite years of us playing basketball was our senior year in high school. And the starting lineup was like Haley Cavender, Brandy Cavender, Hannah Cavender. So it was like
Really?
three of us
Yeah.
starting.
Oh,
it was
fun.
so
That's
much fun.
so cool.
Yeah.
But they just didn't have passionate like to
Yeah, they
bring
didn't
it to
love it as
college.
much as you
yeah,
guys
and they
did.
they were like dancers too, cheerleaders. So
Okay.
Yeah.
but no, they're all very athletic. Board games get crazy.
Oh,
Pickleball gets
competitive,
intense.
Yeah.
Bad. And my mom is like so athletic too. So
Oh, yeah?
yeah. I thought my dad, we got it from my dad, like his competitiveness. My mom is
Yeah.
She wants to go at anything. I'm like,
She's like the worst teammate. Like we were just playing pickleball. Like love you, mom, if you're watching this. We were playing pickleball, and she like I'll miss one, and she'll like let me hear it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like you're not a good
She's
teammate.
mad. Supposed to
Like
be
she'd
fun.
be benched if she was like on a team.
we're calling Haley a one sport athlete.
Yeah, my family likes to tell me that, but I mean, I did one sport very well, so like,
Yeah.
I hold.
Yeah, hey, not
Right?
many people can say that.
She's got it.
I always say I'm like the most athletic and talented one in the family. And they like,
I didn't play Division I basketball either.
yeah,
you know?
they let me hear it. But it's good rivalry for sure and competitiveness.
Yeah.
Most of the time if we channel it.
Yeah.
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 But no.
Used for good, right?
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
Yeah.
so your dad put up a basketball hoop like early, right? And then I read something about you guys doing backflips in the pool at
Yeah.
like 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hannah and I were my parents put us in like everything. Swimming, hockey, I'm trying to think.
Hockey?
Football, gymnastics, always. My dad was a huge hockey fan.
Oh, yeah?
And he played hockey growing up. So we were just like, which I'm so fortunate with because I wanted to try like every sport and we always played it together. And then we grew up as like Celtics fans, Boston Celtics fans in the big 3. And we would always just like we would always watch their basketball games. And then at halftime, I was like, I want to be like Ray Allen and Rajon Rondo and Hannah loved like Paul Pierce.
loved him.
And we would like try to go take the highlights from the first half and like do them on the court. And we just like loved doing that
that's
together.
cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we found out at a really young age. Like we love the sport so much and like doing it together. And then from that point on, like that shift in mindset, it's like we want to play basketball together.
And like, how do we
regardless.
get to the like play Division I?
Like, how
we
can-
we were smaller guards, like we were very under recruited, so it was like we want to be able to get there and play together, not like one of us at the bench, and,
Right.
Like, things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So how did you do that?
I mean, we just trained for a very long time, and then we gave up other sports, but at the time you were training for basketball, and then it was like middle school was you'd go from like middle school practice to AAU travel ball, and then it led up to high school basketball, and then AAU. We had a great team, and it put us in front of a whole bunch of college coaches.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got our first offer from the University of San Diego, freshman year in high school.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
It was
Freshman
the-
year.
yeah.
we were at
it
their
was great.
camp and I remember my coach pulling us out and they're like, they're gonna offer you your guys' first Division I. And like Hannah and I, one thing about us is like I didn't care what it was. Like I wanted a scholarship with my twin. I would like sacrifice anything. Like we missed prom, I didn't care. My mom would be like, "Do you guys want like a social life?" Like she'd pick us up and I'm like, "Mom, just like give me." We like would go like through like Freddy's and
We
get like
love Freddy.
chicken nuggets and we'd go to practice and like I was good with that. Like I didn't care. And so like when we got that first offer, I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be like what we worked for. And then so then we went to Fresno State for our first 3 years in California. It was great. And then I was like, when March Madness would go on the TV, like I would tell my mom, like, Mom, we need to stay home from school. Like I'd fake sick. Like I just want to watch women's
It's
basketball
like
games.
Christmas.
So-
Yeah.
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 And so then we couldn't get to you at a smaller Division I school. You had to win your tournament to get to the March Madness tournament, and that's like very small percentage. And so then we put ourselves in the transfer portal and then went to University of Miami and finished our careers there. But
That was
playing
an
a sport,
argument, too.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
a sport.
I
yeah.
wanted to go to USC, and she wanted to go to the University of Miami, so we compromised and went to Miami.
I was like, you wanted to go because of your ex-boyfriend.
Okay, yeah.
Going to college.
She didn't let me go.
I was like, well, I
fine.
went to
We're
Miami
not
and I
together
like
anymore.
fell in love with the University of Miami.
Yeah.
And just like everything about it and like the coach and like the leadership and everything. It was just like next level. I've never seen anything like it. And then I was like, Dad, I'm going here. And I just remember Hannah was like, I am not coming here. And I'm like, we're going here.
And we went. So, but no, it definitely changed everything.
Yeah,
So,
and
I'm-
everything.
I
Like-
couldn't. I mean, I was kicking her in the butt for it, but now we're like, thank you.
You're so happy.
But-
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And then
here's-
you almost left.
I did. Okay,
And
so
I bet
then,
you were like, what?
Well,
the
it was
thing-
a little bit different
Oh, okay.
because I know it's kind of like a lot of story, but so we went to the University of Miami. She played a lot more than me, so it was like the first time of like me sitting on the bench, Haley playing more. It was like very, very hard just as a competitive
Sure.
in general. So I was like, I didn't want to take my 5th year because obviously you got a 5th year for
From COVID.
COVID. And I was like, I'm not going to, Haley. And she was kind of done. And we ended it at the we were in the March Madness tournament. I was like very at peace with like tying up the shoes. And Haley didn't want to go back.
So at first we graduated and we had 4 years of college, and I was like, okay, we're done. Let's finish the chapter together. But then after like 2 months went by, I was like, I miss it. Like, I need to go back. Like, I need to take my 5th year. Like, I don't know why I decided not to. Like, I was just second guessing. And I was like telling my dad, I'm like, I miss the game. Like, I need like growing up and looking back, I'm gonna like regret this decision.
Yeah.
And so I called my coach up and I was like, I want to come back. And she was, of course, Coach Meyer was like, yes, come back. And so long story short, I was going to go to TCU because this one wasn't going to come back with me. And my family all is in Texas too. So
They're in
Okay,
Texas
okay.
and Florida. So I was like, the
Okay.
only 2 places I'm staying is Florida and Texas. And she wanted me to move with her.
So
I gave her 2
I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to TCU. But long story short, then Miami was like, we want you guys both back. So I was like, okay, I want to finish my career with Hannah by my side. And then, finished it. We went back. And I'm just so glad to be an alum from there. I'm like, University of Miami just opened so many doors for us, and just like ending our careers there. Love it. So.
And what, like, so I'm curious, again, best lessons your coach taught you, but what opportunities did the school provide that makes you so, appreciative? Yeah.
I think it's the relationships you make there. I think one, graduating from there, obviously that degree is amazing, but I think being able to go into rooms with people and be a sponge and actually learn
Like
and
the
hear-
level of professor?
No, like professor or just connections outside.
Like
Oh,
the city
okay.
of Miami.
The city of Miami,
Okay.
and being able to go to dinners with individuals and kind of get connections that you would never. I think that's like the best thing about the University of Miami as well.
Yeah.
The professors were great too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want to.
No, I agree. I think just my experience in general, this school, the coaches, my teammates. I mean, I have lifelong, like they're all coming to my wedding. Like it's just like,
so great.
you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
just like more of just like the family. I mean, just like WWE, like you said, like it's
Right.
like the family and
When
the
it
support
feels like
and like
family.
what you gain from your college experience and just doing it with your twin and just meeting so many and networking and the experiences it opened up for Hannah and I within NIL, within just everything. Like I'm just so grateful for it. So
Yeah. So it's also the city itself.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And then what about the coach? Like
Coach
what,
Meyer?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
some of the best lessons you learned
She's hard.
from her
Yeah.
and from any other coaches that you've had that you think really have helped you.
I would say Coach Fitz was probably the most like pivotal coach in like my whole college career. Till this day, he's like, I text him probably weekly. Just love that man. But he's super, super hard. And I love the standard of him just like teaching me like you show up regardless, like your feelings, whatever it is. Like my dad told me that at a young age, but then having someone kind of push you to a limit that you never even knew you were capable of. And like, we don't care about feelings. It's more of just like, we're going to go do it. And I just like love that mindset. And like, maybe it's different because like a female, you're supposed to be, like all this, but like he just pushed me to a different level of like a basketball. Like I didn't know I was capable of. And like, I'm just so appreciative of that because like, it just makes you so mentally tough. And like it prepares you for everyone's like, just wait till the real world. Just wait till, I'm like, no. Like being a college athlete is ridiculous. Like for 24 years, like me and Hannah, like right now, like I live a dream life. Am influencing and like what it's set me up for 24 years though of like basketball and like what we did. I'm like, no.
Right?
Like there's some things that probably I should like our coaches put us through and I'm like, this is a different level.
I think just following along what Haley said, I think the impact of just like showing up and like you work for everything regardless, especially if like your teammates are down or even if like I wasn't getting minutes. I loved the standard that he would hold me to just as much as Haley, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
So, and then like Haley said, I think it just goes like, that's why we're so routine orientated and disciplined and consistent because that's all we knew for
Right.
24 years. So it doesn't go away. And then it goes into every area of your life. So
And
I think
it's a
that's
key for success.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
WWE World returns to Las Vegas this April 16th through the 20th, and it's the can't-miss destination during WrestleMania week. WWE World brings the WWE Universe closer than ever to the superstars, legends, and iconic moments that define WWE. With immersive exhibits, exclusive merchandise, and experiences you won't find anywhere else.
See superstars like Drew McIntyre, Liv Morgan, Jey Uso, Dominic Mysterio, Tiffany Stratton, and many more, with even more appearances still to come.
Tickets are on sale now at wweworld.com. Save 10% with promo code YourStory10. What about discipline as a part of faith, as you were saying before?
Right. I mean, yeah, I think that if you put something into your routine, I think your relationship with God, my relationship with God, is the most important thing in my life. So
Yeah.
being able to center yourself within that and finding peace with that, obviously, I mean, there's ebbs and flows of life and, you know, you have to go through certain things, but understanding your why is very important, and falling back on that has helped me in my darkest times, no matter what. So
What do you think your why is?
my why, I would say my family, without a doubt, and my future, for sure. My family and my future.
What about you?
I would say, I think Jesus is my why. I would say also my family. I think my twin and my mom, especially, and my sisters and stuff, but like they're the most important people in my life. So like I would just say always falling back on them and like having a circle that truly supports you and knows you, regardless if it's your family or not. I think is just such a key thing for life. Like
Your community.
Yeah, like
Like who you
Yeah.
surround yourself with.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And a tighter circle.
Oh yeah, especially with like the social media and stuff, and obviously it created this dream life for Hannah and I and our jobs. I wouldn't change it, but like having people that know you, so you don't all those opinions that are coming at you 24/7, and like understanding like that's not what you need to look at. Like look at like who knows you, and I think that taught me NIL and like being on social media has taught me that so much more, in being in this space we are in.
We recently interviewed Jalen Brunson.
Oh, nice.
And what kind of came up is like he keeps his circle tight, and it's his middle school coach, his high school coach, his college coach, like people who were around when he was growing up. Like it's a very, very tight circle.
Like his sister,
Yeah,
his best
yeah.
friend,
His
high
family,
school best
yeah.
friend. It's like all his people.
And they're like totally with him this whole journey. And
Right.
you know, and again, like to your point, not everybody has a family, you know, like you guys do, but who do you choose your chosen family?
Yeah.
Right? Like what is that community?
Yeah, I think in the world today too, it's like just always trust your intuition. There's really good people out there, but then there's also people, I always tell Hannah this, like understand there's people that aren't so good and don't have the best
Yeah.
intentions with you in your life. And I think the difference between us is like I'm very socially aware when it comes to that, and I'll always understand that. But Hannah just thinks they're gonna be best friends, and I'm like, you don't know them, Hannah.
You
I
want
just-
to
like, that
assume
just
that,
helps.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
but I
Yeah.
hate.
I'm so glad. Because I mean, I've been through some like lessons where I'm just like, whoa, but no,
You
Haley's
just assume the best in people.
I'm very much
Yeah.
of like, oh, we kidded off.
Yeah.
Let's go get coffee, beach walk. No, but Haley's like Hannah. Like,
Like
let's-
she's not like we don't know her. Like and maybe
Yeah.
maybe it does make me seem like I don't see the good in people. I do see the good in
No,
people,
you
but
do. You do.
I just always see what it is. Like I
Yeah.
see the
Yeah.
situation for what it is, and like I'm just like, like let's just slow down. You know, we just need to slow down.
She is
Yeah,
literally
going
the
back
best
to your
dating
grandfather's.
advice.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Haley gives me the best dating advice. I'm like, she's my chat GPT.
Yeah.
No matter what, I'm like,
Oh.
Haley, what's going
Great,
on?
great
She's like,
quote. Yeah.
So she's like, whoa. And I was like, you're right. Actually, I'm going to stop. But no, she's the best. Luckily, I have her. So,
No, it's super important.
yeah.
You know, and I find that oftentimes as human beings, we're guilty of putting our values on other people.
That's so
Oh,
good.
that's
Yeah.
so
Right? So it's like you assume they're not going to do certain things because you would never do
Right.
that. Right. And that's not how you would think,
Right.
you know, but everybody's different and not
Yeah.
everybody has the same values.
Yeah,
Right.
I
You
think
know?
you learned that too. Like, touching on what you said, I think there's a place that you always want it to be. Like, oh my gosh, it could be a great relationship. It could be all these people. You know, you never know. Maybe they want to be your friends. Maybe they don't want the best for you. But you could. I think with time always tells, regardless
Yeah.
of friendships or relationships. Like I always tell Hannah, I'm like, just give it time.
Yeah.
You don't know because people always show your true colors. Even if they're trying to fake it, you can only fake it for 6 months. I think that.
Yeah.
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 We've texted many times over the years the quote, when someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them.
Yeah. That's Maya Angelou also.
I love
Yeah.
that.
And it's
Yeah.
it's a helpful reminder
Yeah.
sometimes when we're like, I thought this person was good, but I did see a glimpse of something off. And then like down the road, she's like, see,
Yeah. And then I dabble between because I'm like, do I give them grace? Like
Right.
the Bible says shows grace. So I'm like, do I give them grace? And then boom, I get
I
burned
think-
again. I'm
Right.
like,
Intuition, and like I feel like females' intuition always it
Yeah.
always tells you. Like there's always a read, and like luckily we have each other, so like one of us has got to be right. Like if you get a weird intuition,
Right.
like
Yeah,
usually it's
that's
not me.
right.
But
Well, then if you both feel it,
yeah, when
Yeah.
we both
Then you
feel it, I'm
really
like,
know.
okay, there's something.
we have like some twin telepathy.
for sure.
yeah.
For sure. But yeah.
What's like a moment of twin telepathy?
I mean, it doesn't. I think it's obviously on the court. We had very much like I knew her game very well, so it was like very easy.
Right.
But I would
Yeah.
say like yeah,
Very convenient.
Yeah,
But also like I
that's what
think
helped us.
even like in a room, like I know people always have their comfort people,
Right.
But regardless, like if somebody says something that's off or like anything that like could just be like a little bit weird, like I know Haley is just thinking the exact same thing. I don't even
Right.
have to like look at her. Like if
It's
she's
just
in the
a
room,
knowing.
I know.
Yeah.
I think it's twin telepathy, but also we've been in the same room. We've lived together our whole lives. Like
Right.
So we're basically like we're very, very similar. We have the same like mindset, I think. So I don't even know if it's twin telepathy. I just think it's
No,
like
I think it's twin telepathy. There's like some things that I'm like, Haley will ask, like, let's say we go have a conversation in that room over there. I swear, 5 of the same questions Haley will ask you.
Really?
Yeah, okay, that's true.
interesting.
And like a
that's
lot
true.
of people will be like, I'm like, I'm so sorry if I just meet you and she asked you the same thing. Yeah. Like, that's gotta be annoying.
We just live on the same page.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're on the
That's-
same
yeah.
page a lot. But
That's
our
cool.
personalities are definitely different. So,
So how are they different?
I would say,
I think they've changed over the years.
for sure.
I would say I was always introverted and always relied on Hannah for confidence when like I would be like, okay, she's gonna like say someone orders like a wrong drink or something. Like I would be super quiet, and I think we still have this as an example. Like Hannah will tell the waiter like, hey, like this drink is wrong. So like I would rather just like not tell the waiter.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be the one that's
In a respectful way.
in
but,
a, like
Yeah,
like
but
she
you
I would
know,
be the one
right.
that's like,
Yeah.
oh, or even like out of the friend group, everyone would be like, Hannah, will you go say this? And Hannah will, like without a doubt, like she doesn't even blink, like she just like goes and does it. like I would be telling her she like will do it. Like she's the one in the family that does that, and I would
Right.
say like that's the biggest example between us. But I'm very when it comes to like Jake or Hannah or my mom, like I will be very opinionated to them and loud to them. But like when it comes to like a group of people, I would say Hannah's more of the bubbly, extroverted, like super energized, and I'm just more like this.
she's
Right.
like always here.
She's
Yeah.
even.
Yes, Haley's
Yeah.
always here. She's very like, she's not like, she's serious, goofy.
Right.
So, like you got to know Haley's personality. Like it's super good. But I would say like me, I'm like very bubbly,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like all the time.
Like everyone probably thinks she's like probably more nice than me.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Just because she's more
it's just more
outgoing.
like yeah, like,
Yeah.
I mean I think
You're a
you're
little
so
more
outgoing.
shy.
I think I'm outgoing, but Han's just like more just like energy, like
Right,
let's
right.
go, and I'm just like
You're
Oh my
selling
gosh.
yourself short.
we're in
I
two different
know.
chapters of life.
yeah, yeah, that's true. So, like we're going, Haley, like we're staying out, we're having a good time. I'm like, and I'm
You're
going
like,
to bed.
yeah, I'm
in bed, but
tired.
I'm like, I got my nightcap and we're going to bed. Like, I'm sorry,
But no, it's awesome.
it's good. We balance each other well. So
for sure.
it's good.
Well, and you both went through, you recently posted on National Eating Disorder
Yes.
Day. So can you talk a little bit about that, about what you experienced and how you got through it and came out the other side?
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, so it's going on 2 years of us going through our recovery, but it was definitely something that we both went through. So we kind of started with our eating disorder at Fresno State, where it was just like seeing how little we could eat under 1,000 calories. I know this is kind of like triggering for some people too. So we try to eat under 1,000 calories, and then it would always be like, okay, did you eat this today? Or like, did you hit 20 carbs? And like if she hit 20 carbs, I'm like, I need to only hit 20 carbs.
Right.
Like it was
and
like
you couldn't go over.
it was-
And it would give you like a dopamine, like a bad dopamine
Oh,
effect.
really?
Yeah, like I
Especially-
understanding.
Oh, I
like,
didn't know that.
Psychology wise, like
it's a mental illness.
yes,
for sure.
100%. I think that we were each other's like worst nightmares.
You
in this-
enabled each other.
We enabled each
Yeah.
other through and through so bad, and then everyone's telling you look so good, but like also my mom's like, you guys need to eat. Like you're college athletes. Like we're going to practice, mind you, like 3 hardcore practice for 3 hours, like conditioning, whatever, and then we go to weights for an hour, and then I'm like, I haven't ate like, and I'm not eating carbs, and I'm not like our fridge and it was just really bad, and we just started getting skinnier and skinnier and skinnier, and
We transferred to the University of Miami, And so my mom had a really good relationship with their Fresno State coaches where she was like calling them and like, okay, there's something going on. My mom saw like the early signs of it.
Right.
Yeah.
But me and Haley are very stubborn. Like we're very
Right.
stuck in our ways and like this is how it's going to be. So
And
we
if something's like, sorry to cut you off.
You're fine.
If something's like working, we're not going to change it.
Right,
Especially even
right.
if someone tells us, like we're just stubborn.
yeah.
Like,
And then it got
And
bad.
you talk yourselves into
Oh,
whatever
yeah,
you
we'll
want.
talk ourselves into it for sure. And then we transferred to the University of Miami, and it was like we need to get our bodies to the best of the ability because obviously you're playing versus stronger girls, faster girls, and we want to be in shape. So it was like that played an effect, and then it got really bad when Haley was playing and I wasn't playing.
Right.
And then I would stay after practice and like be doing so much cardio just because I'm like pissed off because she played 40 minutes in a game and I sat on the bench,
Right,
And I
right.
need to get that.
and like I'm burning all these calories and she's not.
And then I like,
Oh,
yeah, that's how it
okay.
was.
Like I would leave games and Hannah would be running on the treadmill. And I'm
Wow.
like, what? Like this isn't right, but I didn't even think of it. I'm like, oh, I'll see you at home. You know what I mean?
Right,
And
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just like so like routine like for us,
Yeah.
but it's like, what is going on?
and then it got really bad. I vividly remember it was about to be our birthday. I was going to be our 23rd. And we had like I don't even know what sparked it. It was like very bad that you were like, okay, we need to get our nutritionist.
yeah, I just was like, we need help. Like we would just eat like I think we went home for Christmas and had like too many cookies. Like my mom made cookies and like me and Hannah don't eat cookies a lot, so we were like pounding cookies.
Yeah.
Where we
and
were
we
like,
got back and we're like, oh my gosh, we ate all these things. Like we can't. I'm gonna like not allow myself to eat at all. And like we went to practice and our coach like put us through like the worst practice because we had 2 weeks off and we had to prepare for ACC conference play, and we were just eating egg whites. Like literally all we would eat is egg whites. And then I was like, Hannah, we need help. Like I can't do this anymore. Like I physically cannot. And so
You noticed
I noticed
your
first
play started to be affected?
Yes.
if Haley didn't like, we would have gone down. Oh,
Yeah.
horrible. If that wasn't it, like I would be very nervous just because even now looking back, like obviously we are still in our recovery and I don't think that we're fully recovered. I think that
Do you ever fully recover?
I don't know because I was just talking to my mom about this too. Like it did lead us to our biggest passion with health and fitness and growing. We have an app now with workout plans and macro plans and being able to help other girls is so fulfilling.
That's great.
And that's what led us to that. But I think there's always so much trigger. Like even it's like the easiest choices that like you could make that somebody doesn't probably have an eating disorder mindset where it's like, okay, that's so easy. But like for me, I'm like thinking 3 steps ahead about like
Right.
my meals and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Because you obsess about it?
You're
I
obsessive.
think I think it's the one area, even like going through eating disorder, where we could control. You can control, and Hannah and I are such control freaks. Like we are routine, like and discipline. And it's like, she's not playing enough, but she can control her food. She can control working herself to death.
Right. How many calories
Yeah,
she
how many
burns
calories
or-
she can
yeah.
eat. Like that's the one place of control where in the beginning of like NIL and like getting this platform that we really didn't know. Like we were younger, like we don't know, like let's go to something that we can control. And it was just a negative way of doing it.
And then social media also plays an effect where it's like Haley looks skinnier,
Yeah. And
And then I'm like, oh my God. Even today, like somebody will be like, one of them looks thicker. And I'm like, I text it to Haley and I'm like, dude, like, am I like looking thicker? Like,
Right?
I'm like, I don't think I am, but like, just like to make me feel better, help me out. But no, I think that plays a negative effect too for all girls. I mean, you're
Yeah.
constantly seeing it.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
social media is such a
Trigger for sure.
it is, and it's such a comparison. Like it's a highlight reel, and me and Hannah, we post our best selves. Like you're not gonna
Sure.
post a bad picture of
Right.
yourself.
Not
We're
gonna
like
post a
right
fat roll.
So right.
Right.
And it's like God, you see an angle, and you're like, I hope that's not what I look like. But like, I just think being able to share our story, and just getting all these responses from females, like so many girls go through this, or even like triggers or, thoughts in your head, and being able to like be a helping hand. We've helped so many girls, and like sharing your story is so fulfilling. And I think going through that and being able to get out of it, and we're still in our healing stages, but being able to just like help girls like at such a young age,
Yeah.
it's really like it really makes it all worth it in the end, because it's like we're using our platform for the good, and I really believe that like we are helping other girls get through that, and like that is so fulfilling.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. A lot of girls in general and a lot of female athletes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. And
I shared with Steph before. I was a D3 athlete. I played
Okay.
soccer and softball, and I went through a similar situation. And I like completely different mindset now. Like I lift heavy. I am strong. I'm a mom of 2. Like I'm proud to be strong.
Yeah.
And like we were looking this morning at like pictures of college me, and I was stepping on the scale every single day to see the number, to make sure it didn't change. I was barely eating. I was running 5 miles before softball practice where I was a catcher, and then we'd have to lift after. And I passed out and like fainted in the weight room. And my coach finally was like, "What's going on here?" And I didn't realize, like, I just was in it. And it took like her saying it to me, and seeing your story, I kind of was like, oh shit, I forgot that was
That you went through that.
Right.
It's like
God,
the pictures.
2010, like it was 2009, but still like it. And then I'm scrolling through my Facebook and I'm like, oh my God, look at this shell of a human who, like, I wish someone pulled aside college me to be like, hey, if you eat carbs and more protein, you're going to be even better, even stronger. And like, it's so powerful to see other college athletes, other women go through it too. Now it's empowering to be like, hey, I was there, look where I am now, and how can I help people? So you guys highlighting it and not being afraid to talk about like those moments of egg whites and cottage cheese. You said it, and I'm like, it's my part of my routine now, but like in a healthy way.
Yes.
And it's, you can get through it, but it's
Well, and then the aspect of it never totally being gone.
Right.
Still in the back of your mind.
and that's the thing, like, and then you have kids and your body changes and your best friend drags you into podcasting with her, so you have to be on screen. So people are commenting like, who's the overweight chick next to Steph?
Yeah.
So I stopped reading the comments per Nikki Bella's advice and yours. But like, it's so easy to then be like, I can't go back to her
Yeah.
and like caring too much about that. Because I think now I'm like, my babies can't see me. Sorry.
No, but it's
Oh
good
my
that
gosh,
they're
yeah.
going to see you because you're human.
Yeah.
And you struggle just like everybody else and you get through it and it's who you are.
Yeah.
And it's good for them to see.
No, it is, and
see
it
you.
is empowering too, because like, even I was telling Haley this, like, it took me like a very long time to like be able to talk about it and not get very emotional. And I'm not like a very emotional person, but like it was hard for me to even like get words or like speak about it, just because of it's like so triggering and like what you go through, and you never want to go back, but then you do see comments and like that's your natural effect. And it's just, I mean, it's awful, but it's also like empowering to be able to share and like see where you are today.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing. And you should be proud of that.
And even like
Thank you. I
touching on
just haven't thought about it, I think, in a while, and then was
Yeah.
like watching some of your clips and was like, oh my God, that was me.
yeah.
And I forget about her.
You don't,
know?
yeah. And like the thing is like you'll look at other, like I even see sometimes, and like this is the healing side. I'm like, God, I looked so good there. You know, like that's the, like, I don't look at the part where it's like she was so sad.
Yeah.
Like that's the girl that's controlled by food. That's the girl that wants to be your skinniest, and like
A number,
that's
like,
not like
fulfills her.
you have one life.
Yeah.
Like, Hannah, I mean, this is like one thing we always talk about. It's like we have one life. Like no one's gonna care about how small your waist looked or like what you did, or like no one's gonna care about that when you're older and you have grandkids and like we're not talking about that. Like talk about like it's memories and enjoying, like food plays a big part of that. And like I am a foodie now. It's like, you know, I love a chips and salsa and margarita and I'm not mad about it.
Right.
But like I'll look at photos and like that's still the process of like how do I get back to like looking like, you know, but like I don't want to get back there. Like that back there needed help. Like that Haley needed help, and like that version of you needed help, and like just because comments or whoever, like they don't know you. And like remind yourself, like your body isn't the most important thing about you. Like remind yourself of that. Like there's so much more. And if that's what people want to judge you on, that's like, which is so sad with female athletes, because like even ESPN comments, like they'll post a female athlete and the first thing people comment on is her looks. But like a man gets posted, it's never about that. It's their performance. I'm like, why are we always commenting on females' looks? You know?
I don't know.
It's just kind of interesting.
No, yeah, for sure. But it's amazing to shed light on it, because a lot of people go through it and there's so much positive that you can do. But
And what is the name of the app?
it's called Together.
Two.
So
Oh,
TWO.
I did see
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Together. So
love that.
No.
Yeah.
I love it. It's our baby. We built it from like nothing and being able to, you know, have girls in that community. It's the one community that's so positive that you can always go to. You
Yeah.
know? No, even if you're having a bad day, like I do not go there. I go to my community app because like no matter what, they'll fill your cup. So just spend
Yeah.
more time there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, spend more time
there.
doing what
Yeah.
fills your
Your
cup,
cup.
Yeah,
for,
for
sure.
sure. Yeah, I learned that. So I mean, I deleted Twitter like probably for like 8 months. I was just like, that is just horrible place. So.
Yeah. So, what other tips do you have for, you know, social and how to deal with, you know, comments? I mean, not reading them, right? Shutting down your social,
Yeah.
but when
Except
it's your
that I-
business,
except that I
it's a little
run
bit
social, so-
harder, right? Yeah, I know. It's a
Sorry.
business. Yeah. What tips do you have there?
I'm like I like love this rule of like a post and ghost. Like I'm a post and ghost and I'll like just put it, like I won't go on my phone after
Yeah.
I post. Or if there's like something that's going on like the media or something that's prevalent for doing its time. Cause like I'm always like time's gonna run its course. But
Right.
I'm always just like, do not go on my phone. Like I will go up to Fort Myers Beach because that's my happy place with Haley and Jake and my grandparents and just have a margarita on the beach and not go on my
No,
phone.
that sounds so great.
So just like
fun.
put it down.
I would say, as human beings, it's you're gonna look like
Right? You try not to.
You try not to, but then that eats you up, and then you end up going to do it.
Right.
And like, you look, and I'm like, all these people are anonymous. They probably have
Right.
like 4 followers, and at the end of the day, it's like they're commenting on you because you're doing something. And that they're probably just insecure and jealous about. At the end of the day, like I always make up stories, and I'm like, these people, once again, like if they're gonna comment about what I look like or a bad angle or whatever it is, or they don't like us because they don't even know me and they're just listening through a mic,
Right.
then I'm gonna go back to my circle.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna go back to my circle because like, who are they?
That's what my husband always
Yeah.
says. He goes, "Let me ask you a question, Steph. Would you ask this person for advice?"
Yeah. Don't
On
take
anything?
criticism for people you don't take advice
Yeah.
from. You know.
That's so hard. Like Haley said, like I think it's hard because it's like you don't want to go there, but it's like natural. It's like you have to see what they're saying. Like
Right.
why do you have?
Why
to
are we
s-
wired that
And then
way?
I'll ask
Yeah.
myself, I'm like, why do you care?
Right.
Like, do you really
It's
care? Write down in your journal. Why do you care?
I think
That's
the
good,
good
though.
is just as bad as the bad. Like the good will give you so much dopamine. Like if you get all these like good comments and stuff, and it makes you feel like you have this like huge ego, and you're walking
Right.
around like I'm feeling like $1,000,000, like you know whatever. But that affects you just as much as the bad does.
Yeah.
Because then you get really really high on that, and then you see one bad comment, and you're like, oh my god, and the crash out.
It's
Right.
just
So
as
it's just, like,
poisonous.
it's
We always
poison.
say that.
Yeah.
It's poison.
So it's just like where you get your approval from. Like me and Hannah go back to our faith through and through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's super
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah.
I
Post and
think.
ghost.
Post
Love
and
that.
ghost.
Post and ghost.
I'm doing it.
Good.
Literally just post and goes.
And even if you don't want to, it's a habit.
And then just
do it.
delete the app. Like that's what literally I did in the beginning because I was like always finding myself to go back of after I posted or like something was going on and I was like, I do not want to see this. Like it's really bad for my mental health right now. I would just delete apps.
Huh.
Delete,
Yeah.
delete, and then I'll have Haley. I'll be like, how are we doing?
Yeah, checking on Twitter.
I'm like, hey, how are we doing?
Manage everything. I'm
I'm
like,
like,
we're
are we doing good? So,
Are people enjoying the pod?
are people like, how are we doing? Yeah. Is it good or is it bad? And should I? Is it? I'm like, is it safe there? That's my question. I'm like, is it
Oh, I
safe?
like that.
If not, so it's good to have people that will just like check out for you.
Yeah.
So
Is it safe?
Is it
I don't
safe
know
there?
if it's
Safe
ever
there.
safe.
probably not. Like,
Yeah.
is it safe there?
Well, and then why do we focus on the one negative comment?
Yeah, there's so much.
You can have
good.
10
Yeah.
positive comments and one negative comment, and you're like fixated on this negative
Yeah.
comment.
Female brain
Yeah.
miswiring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
well,
it's
and
just
I don't
human
know if
beings.
Or maybe
just
human.
female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But for sure, women.
Speaking for myself.
I just think women
Yeah.
can be more judgmental
Oh, yeah.
too. You like, why do we do that to each other even?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why I love the community you're building. It's so
Mm-hmm.
positive and supportive, and you know, like that's when we're at our best.
Yeah. So it's
right?
like find the community that you feel the most free in, and whether it's WWE, basketball, whatever it is, like whatever you feel like your best confident self, then it's like stick with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I find like sometimes when I guess it's my own insecurities, and I see like a beautiful woman, and I'll like think something, and then I'll shift my mindset. Like, why are you thinking anything negative about this beautiful woman? Why? Because she's beautiful, you know? And then I'll be like, you should be supporting her, not thinking negative things
Yeah.
about her. And when I consciously shift that, I feel like a shift in my heart,
Yeah.
you know? And it's like, it's a feeling, and it's really positive. And I much prefer to live in that place than the other place.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and I always will tell myself like, her win isn't your loss. Like no matter
Yeah.
what, like
Yeah,
no
that's
matter
true.
what, like, and if you know like your heart is good, no matter what, like that's what you always fall back on.
Right.
So it's like, don't have like a jealous heart, don't have a hateful heart.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's not your loss.
Yeah. Focus on you.
Focus on you. Focus on
Yeah.
your ship.
Yeah.
So
That seems like another good lesson.
Yeah.
Focus on your ship.
focus
I
on your
thought she
ship.
said your shit. She said shit. Focus on your shit.
my
Both
boat.
work.
I focus on my boat. So
And is that, that direct specifically using the boat analogy, is that a religious tie or is that just like an expression?
yeah, I'm just an analogy girl. So
Okay.
I just think my boat as myself. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And you're constantly building it and fixing it and
Yeah.
doing whatever.
Yeah, I think the boat flows as you go and you learn like lessons, but continuing, wherever it goes. Who you add on the boat, you take off the boat.
Oh yeah, that's why
Who
I'm
drives
like,
the boat?
That's why I'm digging here because
I
I
like
think
it.
that's kind of a different way to. I've never heard anybody position it that way.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No, I think it's like a very free spirited and it's you don't take life as seriously.
Mm.
Because Haley always tells me, she's like, Hannah, it's highs and lows, and that's just life. And I'm like, okay, well that's just my boat.
Yeah,
So
and it goes where it goes.
goes where it goes. For sure.
So what's next for you guys? I mean, you're obviously getting married,
Mm-hmm.
which, talk a little bit about what you can share.
Okay.
Because it's so exciting.
I know, I'm so excited. I think that I didn't know what planning a wedding entailed.
Oh yeah.
And luckily, I have a great maid of honor. We have a bachelorette trip coming up.
Ooh, I was
Oh
gonna
boy.
ask.
Oh boy.
But I am very I'm not like type. I'm a type B bride. I would say I have a great wedding planner. And I think my older sister Brooke is helping me a lot. But I would just say I think it's the one day everyone's there. Like my favorite people are coming, Jake's favorite people are coming, and I'm like, Hannah, I don't want to take away from that day, regardless of what it is. That is such a special day because it's I
do that all the
time. It's like your one day. So I think I'm getting more excited as it gets closer. Got my dress and everything, so I'm just excited for that. We have such a great group of people, so I just can't wait. I mean, I can't wait to marry Jake, and I just am looking forward to seeing everyone all in one day. You're never gonna get that
No.
ever
Yeah.
again in your life. So it's that's just what's fun.
I think the best
Party.
advice someone gave me for my wedding day, I don't remember who it was. Was it you to stop and look around? I'm like, yeah, it was you.
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
probably gonna go so quick.
It's and then people say that, but it does. Before you know it, it's the last song or the after party.
Right.
It's stop and just look at
right.
all of your people.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
side, your side, and it's not maybe the last time you get a group like that together.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so hard to get all of your worlds together
Yeah.
at once, celebrating
Right.
you. It's the best.
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't really ever think about a wedding like that, and then I'm we're sending out all these invitations, all these, and I'm this is gonna be amazing, and everyone's coming in to see us.
Yeah.
How special
Makes
is that
you
gonna
feel
be?
so special.
Right. So
right?
no, I'm excited about that. And then what's next for us is we just signed with BetMGM, and then we also have two exciting things coming out soon. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can talk about that if you want. So we're huge tequila girls.
Okay.
We love tequila.
Same.
So we're
Yeah, actually, at least it's a big tequila.
Okay. But you're gonna have to try this. But it's called As You Car. So it's tequila in a can, and we are the creative of it, the marketing side of it. So being able to, I don't want to say too much about it because the shoot's coming up
Okay.
next week actually. But no, it's gonna
And
be
when
great.
does it launch?
It's gonna launch
Early April, right?
Early April.
Okay, so
Yeah.
right around your event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and we get a taste test all the flavors here soon.
Is there an after party
I hope
sponsored
so.
by?
Oh, there's gonna be a ton of
parties.
We're gonna do a launch party. You guys have to come.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And-
But no, that's coming out, and then we are taking up one of our huge entrepreneur goals was to have a brand that was behind us, but we're not the faces of it. So it's gonna be a supplement company. So that's coming out soon. I don't want to talk too much about
Okay.
that, but it's called Too Good. So there's gonna be a lot of
Ooh.
supplements within it.
That's
and-
great. I
Yeah,
love
so
the play on
TWO.
words. Yeah.
But no, I'm super excited about that too because like we said, health and fitness is literally it's our bread and butter.
Yeah.
So a lot of good things.
Yeah, we're excited.
Awesome.
Yeah, maybe WWE.
Yes. Let's
Who
hope.
knows?
Yeah.
Manifesting it.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for coming and doing this podcast. It's just so fun having you here. And I've been following since we first signed you. Because, we were very excited about NIL because of course, WWE does it a little bit different. It's like hopefully a recruitment tool and, and the opportunity to reach college athletes and bring them in. It's not just having you represent the brand, but it's like hoping to attract you as well. And so I've been following you like sort of from that perspective for a while now. Didn't know all of the things you were going through at the time, from an eating disorder standpoint, and of course all the different things that you're living through and all of that. And, now to be sitting here with you, graduated, and you're
Time
done
flies.
playing basketball, at least, in a college setting, and now you're going to play each other,
I know.
and your business careers. I
Yeah.
mean, really, like you guys you're killing it.
Oh,
No, thank you so much. Thank you for having us. We've been huge fans. So,
yeah, no,
no, yeah, we were
this is
excited
awesome.
about this. Yeah.
No, it's so
I haven't
great.
done a podcast in forever, so I was so
Oh,
excited.
yeah? Awesome.
That was great.
Well, we have to have you back on too.
Yes.
Yes, once you launch everything and
Oh, my
and maybe
gosh.
once you get your career started, we'll
yeah,
we'll check
maybe.
back in with you.
We shall
Yes.
see.
Yeah, because you have to at least like run the ropes and take some bumps and see what you think.
I think
Yeah.
so too.
No?
Might have
I think
to.
it's time.
Yes.
And
All right.
For sure.
All right, you heard it here first.
Yes, you did.